Hey guys, Stitches here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Last time, we got a message from Arceus directly, who sent us here, presumably from the future, back into the past, with the goal to seek out all Pokemon. We fell out of the sky and met Professor Laventon, who taught us how to catch Pokemon and gave us an education on how to do so. This time, he has brought us to Jubilife Village, and we'll be following him around. This road we're on now is known to the locals as Kanala Avenue. The village was built scarcely 2 years ago. There's much to do, and yet so much to do. For the record here, he said the village was built scarcely 2 years ago. There's much to do, and yet not many to do it. And since we know so little of the local Pokemon, people hesitate to step foot outside. And the impressive building up ahead of us is Galaxy Hall. I'm not reading all the background text. Oh, botheration, I'd almost forgotten. I need to go and report that we successfully recovered the escaped Pokemon. Might I ask you to wait for me at the canteen? It's just past this bridge here, then to the left. The Wallflower, it's called. Oh. Your ARC phone is beeping. Somehow it seems to show you where you need to go next. Use the minus button to view the map on your ARC phone. You can consult the map for guidance on your next destination and information on your missions and quest. You'll also see guidance markers when you're out exploring or running around the village. If you're not sure where to go next, stop and look around in all directions to try to spot one of these markers and head for it. So I do want to kind of talk about the fact why Ray and Akari aren't the same character. Ray is the male character, by the way, I'm pretty sure. There's the reason why they aren't the protagonists from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. And part of the reason is they can be black or blonde. Albeit this is not their canon design, and this is more of a choice to, have diversity in the game's character designs. They can be black or blonde by default at the start, meaning that you actually cannot, you actually in Diamond and Pearl, I think even in the remakes, cannot pick this. Meaning that they could potentially just be different characters entirely. Additionally, Pokemon Masters, a semi-canon mobile game which gives you canon information in a non-canon setting, this sort of explains that they are different people. One theory is that Akari may, or Ray may actually be the son or daughter of your Diamond and Pearl protagonist. What does it say? Kanala Bridge. This region is huge, and there's lots of dangerous Pokemon too, but you came here anyway. How come? Waka. Back in my hometown, I've got an older brother who's gonna inherit the family farm and all. But I'm gonna make my own way here in Hisui. So we're in a region called Hisui. This game takes place somewhat in the Sinnoh region, in an ancient version of it called Hisui. As for why they called it something different, I think it was a marketing tactic, but it's canonically the same thing as the Sinnoh region. So, this game also, by the way, if you haven't figured out, is heavily derivative of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Bellamy. I'm pretty new to the village myself. Try to talk to everyone I meet, so I always learn something new. Don't worry, we will be getting new clothes soon, and I will be changing the character's appearance somewhat. I'm not sure how much, but I will be trying. So. There's you. Well now, aren't you awfully suspicious? The wallflower's for Galaxy Team folk only. We don't have seats for outsiders. Move along. Man. Who in the world are you? What's that bizarre garb you're wearing? Pokemon could slice through those flimsy excuses for clothes. For you to get in here, someone must have vouched for you. Was it Professor Laventon? Do you two know each other? He's from a region a long way off. Not the most reliable sort, though. Letting Pokemon run off and give him the slip and all. 3 more of them got away just a while ago. If I hadn't been resting up after some Pokemon drubbed me with a move called Thunder Shock, I'd have corralled them for sure. I think this is one of the first times in a game, in a Pokemon game, where they've ever said a Pokemon uses a specific attack directly on a human being. So, that kind of gives you the idea of the setting. But the professor, well... Unfortunately, it's just as Ray says. I'm a clumsy sort of fellow, to put it mildly. But everything will be quite alright now. Makari here has agreed to help us with our Pokédex. As in, she's gonna join the Survey Corps. What makes you think that's a good idea? We can't just take in any misfit who wanders out of the wilderness. I'll allow it. Huh? Assuming the individual can contribute to the Survey Corps, that is. I am the captain of the Galaxy Team Survey Corps. You may call me Silene. Professor Laventon has told me how you helped secure his Pokemon when they slipped his control. And now it seems he would like us to feed you and house you in exchange for your ongoing labor. You look to be 15 or so. I think this is the first time in a while a canon age has been set for the Pokemon protagonist. It's never specifically stated in game, but this actually makes this character around the same age as the Black and White protagonist, who are the second oldest protagonists in the series behind Wes, who I believe was 19 in Pokemon Coliseum. Quite old enough to work for your keep. But we can't simply take on a stranger who wanders in among us without any idea of their skills or origins. Tomorrow, we shall see if you can prove yourself worthy. Oh, a most reasonable decision, Captain. Now, would you care to join us for a meal? I'm sure you've plenty of questions For our visitor, that's quite alright. I prefer to eat alone, so I might appreciate my meals without distraction. Aloof as always, I see. Well, no matter. The rest of us can share a meal. And some pleasant conversation then, eh? Benny, old chum, the usual potato mochi, if you please, but make it for 3 today. And now it's nighttime. Wonderful stuff, Benny. Much obliged. Your potato mochi never fails to please. Where did you find this stranger in the first place, Professor? Ah, well, you know, that great hole in the sky, the one people call the the space-time rift. Our new friend fell right out of it. Was that a joke? Come now, I am a scientist. My job is to observe and explain all phenomena. I concern myself only with the facts. Now, you already know there are many Pokemon here in the Hisui region. Sure, they're all over the place, in the grass, in the forests, in the ocean. It's up to us in the Survey Corps to study them and figure out what kind of creatures they are. Well, we know this much. Pokemon are terrifying creatures. It's all but impossible to know what kinds of powers they might possess or what sorts of wondrous things they can do. But that's where Akari will come in. She's successfully caught 3 Pokemon. 3 of them in quick order, you understand. Nobody in the Galaxy team is capable of a feat such as that. This means we can finally begin our Pokemon research in earnest. That's really something. We count ourselves lucky when we manage to catch a single wild Pokemon while fending off their attacks. Ah, well, to be perfectly fair, the Pokemon that fled to the beach weren't on the attack. Key to catching Pokemon is getting close enough to aim your Pokeball well. Excuse me. And it seems our new friend is fearless enough to do that. Does the Survey Corps really have the leeway to be enjoying a leisurely meal with this outsider? Your captain just ordered 10 whole portions of potato mochi, you know. The slow progress on that Pokedex of yours clearly has her on edge. I'm sure we'll start to rein in the good captain's stress eating soon enough. Now, have your fill, Akari. And think, if you make it into the Galaxy team, you'll never have to worry about a meal again. The team provides for all its members' needs, even if that member fell out of the sky. That was quite delicious indeed. I really wish, like, I knew a recipe for that. There's probably some online recipe, like a binging with Babish video or something. Or a Feast of Fiction video. I should learn to make it. I actually tried a binging with Babish recipe recently to make sea salt ice cream. And it didn't turn out so good, but part of it is because I don't have an ice cream maker, so it wasn't churned, it was just thickened really hard. And it made it taste like butter. You're awfully relaxed about all this. You do know that we won't get to have Akari join the Survey Corps unless he passes a trial? Not to worry, I have complete confidence in Akari's skills. Let us hope it's not misplaced. Akari, was it? For tonight, at least, we will provide you with a place to sleep. You may use our quarters there. But if you fail to pass the trial we put you to tomorrow, you must move on. You will be expelled from the village to meet your fate and perhaps your death in the wilds. Damn. Captain Silene's like Hisui in a way. They're both plenty harsh. Now, she simply puts on a stern face to help us all stay safe. At any rate, I think it's time we turned in for the night, eh? It's a good thing one can't fall out of the futons we sleep in here. I imagine our new friend has had enough falling for one day. And with that, I bid you both a good night. Professor Laventon is implied to be, Pokemon's equivalent of British. Which, at the time before this, was the most recent mainline Pokemon game. It took place in England. So... Or took place in an area inspired by England, so... Yeah, sleep tight. Sorry if I'm giving Ray kind of an actually voice, but... Still, people falling from the sky, that's some kind of story. So, unfortunately, the thing I don't like about playing Pokemon games is the beginnings are very tutorial heavy. So it might take a few videos for it to really pick up, especially because I'm not doing every single day uploads for this. I'm doing them once a week, just like the other Let's Plays that I'm doing right now. But if you look around, you may notice some Pokemon characters look like other Pokemon characters, and this is because of an implication that they may in fact be the ancestors. Obviously, the Galaxy Cores seems to be a reference to Team Galactic from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. This character over here is implied to be related to one of the Frontier Brains from Pokemon Platinum. The implication comes in the hairstyle. I believe this dude is implied to be related to one of the Elite Four members from I think Unova. If you look at this dude, he's got green hair. I think you can also I think he's later seen with a Pokemon called Ralts, which implies that he may be a relative of Wally from the Gen 3 games. You're a generic NPC. I don't know who you'd be related to. There's a theory that Laventon may be implied to be related to Pokemon Champion Leon due to their similar facial features. Another theory is he may be related to Chairman Rose in some way from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Part of this is due to their darker skin color, but over here, if we look, we can see there's pictures of Pokemon. There's a picture of a Ponyta, a picture of a dude in a Pachirisu, and a picture of a rather interesting looking fellow in his Togepi. Also a Cherubi. This samurai looking guy who I know the name of, and I think that's Murkrow. But anyways, we should go into here. Sleep until morning in your futon. It is interesting that, like, this first part is, like, sand and dirt. This chest looks like you could store lots and lots of items in it. Jesus! I could sleep in that! Just to, like, lock myself in there. It's a jug used to store drinking water. It has a lid on top to keep debris from falling in. A nice fire in the sunken hearth can help keep the entire room heated. There's also some garlic up here. Are those peppers? And sandals. Also, interestingly, as a part of Japanese culture, you remove your shoes when you actually step into your house. So, yeah. If we investigate this, checking survey tips. Survey tips contain all sorts of useful information to help you carry out your survey work in the Hisui region. To read them up at any time, simply press the up button to open the menu and then go to the help screen. Handy tips for team members. Don't wish for your toils to be forgotten. Diligent record keeping will save you from such a fate. To save your progress, press the up button to open the menu, then scroll with the ZL or ZR button until you reach the save screen. There's also an auto-save function you can use to have your progress saved automatically. You can enable or disable autosave by scrolling to the help screen in the menu, then selecting settings. So, if we go up here, we can go to settings. Now, for the sake of this Let's Play, I'm actually going to disable autosave. There's a couple reasons for this. Mainly in case I need to go back to my save at any point, I can do this. But yeah, Z button confirmation. Choose whether or not you want to be prompted to confirm throw each time you use ZR in battle. Dynamic range. Adjust the ratio between the loudest and quietest sounds to make it easier to hear. It's HUD toggling. Neat. Anyway, let's go to bed. What I do think is funny is that Laventon kind of implies that he thinks it's kind of weird that we utilize futons instead of beds. But we'll rest until tomorrow morning. The RGB lights. Someone activated Raigeki. The next day. Hey, in there. You awake? That was some wild lightning last night, right? Anyway, if you're up, come on out. What even is this? Like some sort of sink? There's no hole in the sink. Did you sleep all right? I know that's not easy in a strange new land. We are not keep Captain Silene waiting. Let's hurry to headquarters. But now we can come into here. So this video will probably be like twice the length of the previous one, just because I want to get some actual gameplay in here. That isn't just walking around and talking. Here we are, Galaxy Hall. What do you think? Ever seen a building this grand before? Hessel. Don't give up, keep those eyes open. Yojiro, the wild Pokemon, they were everywhere, attacking from all sides. I sent out my partner Pokemon, but against the whole pack, I was outnumbered. This is what happens when you go so far afield, but the medical corps will put you to rights. You, do realize that if you fail your trial and get flung out of the village, you could well die out there. Well, you might die even sooner than that if you have to take on this trial without a Pokemon to be your partner. Captain Silene, ma'am, I brought Akari. You may enter. Silene is implied to be related to the Team Galactic leader, Cyrus. Let us get straight to it. If you wish to join Galaxy Expedition Team, prove yourself capable by going out into the Obsidian Fieldlands and catching 3 different species of Pokemon. Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Three species right away? But none of us have ever managed that. Did this stranger not catch 3 different Pokemon only yesterday? My trial should be simple enough for her. The professor wasn't exaggerating things, that is. The Galaxy Expedition Team does not have the means to provide for those who only take without giving. If you wish to stay, you must prove beyond any doubt that you'll be an asset to our cause. I like the Abra in the background, it's just sitting there. I will lend you one of our Survey Corps satchels to carry whatever you need in the field. Whatever it is that you're wearing doesn't suit our satchels in the least. Ray. I'll expect you to step in if anything goes awry. Mission, the Galaxy Team's entry trial. I'll activate the guide. Checking missions and requests. Press the Y button while consulting the map on your ARC phone and you can check the tasks you have waiting. There are 2 types, missions and requests. Missions progress the story and requests are optional. Pardon, Akari. Come with me a moment. Now then, a jolly good morning to everyone. What did you need, Professor? In order to complete our Pokédex and, well, simply survive in this unforgiving land, Akari absolutely must pass this trial. As a professor of Pokemon, I've got just the ticket to help accomplish that. Friends. Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott. Go on, Akari, pick the Pokemon that strikes your fancy. With a partner of your own, you'll be able to fight off wild Pokemon outside the village. These little darlings are very dear to me, but it's plain to see that they're rather curious about you. Well, my girl, which Pokemon would you like to keep as your very own? We get to pick our starter! This is a thing that happens in every Pokemon game. You get to pick between a fire type, grass type, or water type. And in this game, the choice is less important. See, this game does not have... Because this game only has one version, there's no Pokemon Legends Arceus Red and Pokemon Legends Arceus Blue. All of the Pokemon can actually be obtained in the game, and additionally, you don't even need multiple save files. To do so, you can actually obtain every single Pokemon on a single save file, and you're not required to trade using online. I really like this, and honestly, it doesn't matter necessarily who you pick, but just know that it does matter early on. I will also tell you this. If you have played another Pokemon game, these Pokemon evolve into slightly different Pokemon from their other game variants. Because of this, I recommend you catch these Pokemon. As you can and will be able to utilize new evolutions to each Pokemon. Now, if you're curious for who I will pick, I have actually used each one of these Pokemon one time in a playthrough of my own. So I know roughly how they play, although their typings are now different. Like, I think Cyndaquil becomes Fire Ghost. Rowlet, I think, becomes Fire Fighting, or Grass, sorry, not Firefighting. Grass Fighting instead of Grass Ghost. And Oshawott, I think, becomes Water Dark instead of Pure Water. So they have a secondary type triangle that still goes in the same direction. So I'm gonna pick Oshawott because I like Oshawott. It's my favorite one. And I think it looks cute. A lot of people say it looks ugly, but I mean, I'm like, it looks cute. I don't really know how you could say it looks ugly. You're my best friend. You're my best friend. I always say that to my dog every single day. And with that, one of the Pokemon you caught at the Prelude Beach for me will now be yours to keep. Good show, I've tucked Oshawott back inside its Pokeball for you, so take it, it's yours. You received Oshawott. A word of advice, my girl. Pay close attention to which Pokeballs are empty and which ones contain Pokemon when you're out in the field. Look at those two cheer on their pal Oshawott. Or maybe they just wanted to help Akari with their trial. That could well be. They did go dashing from the village when Akari fell out of the sky, after all. Well, not to worry, you two. I'll have you assist me with my research for now. You can catch the starters in the wild. I'm not sure if I said that. You can catch them in the wild in this game, but you have to wait for certain things to happen before you can do so. So this decision is kind of important for a little while. By the by, what species has Captain Silene charged you with catching? Well, that's smashing. All three of those Pokemon can be found in the Obsidian Fieldlands. Let me give you some Pokeballs to use during your trial, then. We've obtained an additional 20 Pokeballs. These Pokeballs may be handcrafted, but they work a treat, as you've already seen. You'll have this trial cleared in no time. One interesting thing is that the Kalos region, a region in the Pokemon franchise that's based on France, actually has a Pokeball factory, which is implied to be where almost all modern Pokeballs come from. Meaning that newer Pokeballs are actually factory made. These ones are all handmade, which is why they look like this. You'll have this trial cleared in no time. Let's be off. I'll show you the way to the Obsidian Fieldlands. Meet me at the gate to your left as you leave the headquarters. So now if we press X, we can swap between our 6 currently equipped Pokemon and our different Pokeballs and throwables. Additionally, we can also check them out. So this game is kind of open world and kind of open zone. So videos in this series may be wildly different and varying in length. Like this video is already 36 minutes by the time, or this recording is already 36 minutes. So depending, I may try to cut these down, but some videos are going to be longer and some are going to be shorter. So now that we actually have this, you can see we can actually throw a Pokeball, and we can let Oshawott out, and we can actually talk to it. We can actually check our Oshawott here. Oh, it's not 20 additional Pokeballs, it's just 20 Pokeballs. I forgot they take away all your Pokeballs from the beginning, but that makes sense. So our Oshawott is male and level 5. Additionally, we can check the summary of our Oshawott. We can see that it currently only knows the move Tackle. A normal type move with 40 power and 100 accuracy. We can check its stats. This Pokemon is pretty quirky by nature. We first met one another on August 28th, 2024, and it was in Jubilife Village. At the time, this Pokemon was level 5. I almost said level 25. If you press ZR again, you can do it. So if we come out here... Hey, wait a second. That guy looks familiar. That's the guy from the picture. It's the Togepi guy. But he doesn't look like he's with us. He looks like he's with someone else. Oh, what a curious getup you have there. I can already tell you're quite the character. I'm Volo of the Jingo Guild. The go-to choice for any of your mercantile needs here in Hisui. If this guy looks familiar, the implication is he is related to Pokemon champion Cynthia from Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I've heard talk about you. Fell from the sky, didn't you? That's certainly a tale I'd like to hear. Oh, and you've a Pokemon. You're certainly full of interesting surprises. Investigating the odd novel is key to any merchant's success, so what do you say? How about you and I see our Pokemon stand up to one another in battle? Sounds good. I like you better and better. What a delightful find. I've also heard about this trial you're to attempt. Let's have a quick battle to get your blood pumping before you head out. Though I hope you know if your you'll lose if your Pokemon's HP reaches 0. Jingo Guild member Volo challenged you to a battle. He sent out his Togepi. I sent out Oshawott. Now, if you're wondering why the battle scene looks so good, it's because it's in the environment. We can actually move around. And you can see we can actually get hit by the Pokemon attacks. Battle decided. Moves, items, use them well, and the world will open up to you. Oshawott is now level 6, and he has learned the new move, which I believe is Water Gun. It's always good fun to have your Pokemon do battle, don't you think? And as they gain experience through battle, they'll learn new moves and grow even stronger. Pokemon moves. Sometimes Pokemon learn new moves when they level up. If you want to change the moves your Pokemon can use in battle, open your satchel and choose the Pokemon you want and select change moves. This is something unique to this game. You can actually just freely change the moves your Pokemon has learned. Excuse me, I just burped and it was disgusting. You can freely change the Pokemon's moves, which is a really cool thing especially because some of the Pokédex requirements that you will see in this game actually require you to have specific moves be used multiple times. Also, because of the nature of this game, I cannot guarantee that I will have a set quote-unquote team for this game like most people do with other Pokemon games. Because this game is just structured different and you're not really going around to gyms. In fact, you don't fight gyms at all. This game is pretty much entirely focused around catching Pokemon in the open world. The battling was honestly more of a tack-on for this. Some people suggest that maybe the next game is going to be the inverse, where it's going to be more battling focused. Anyway. But so few people here have their own Pokemon. If only more knew how to use Pokeballs. At any rate, let me help our two battlers recover from their little exercise. And to you, my Skyfallen friend, I present some potions and thanks. Well, thanks. Potions in this game actually do look different. A topical medicine meant to be applied to Pokemon. It can be used to restore 60 HP to a single Pokemon. Now that's different from mainline Pokemon. Mainline Pokemon, normal potions do 20. This does 60. I think this is just to make them more useful. You can use them on your Pokemon whenever they might be worn out from battle. I'll be hoping that you're successful on that trial of yours. More Galaxy team members means more customers for your Truly, after all. What a nice guy. Anyway, if you can battle that well, I've got a feeling you might have this trial well in hand. Even if it's more to do with catching than the battling. Now to the Obsidian Field Lands. Whenever you want to leave Jubilife Village, you have to pick a destination from your map and let Ress, the guardsman, know where you're off to. That way someone can come collect you if things go wrong. Hey, I hope you make it through this. Anyways, with that, I think that's a good place to end it. We actually got to see some Pokemon battling, and we got to pick our starter Pokemon, Oshawott. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. You should also subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications. If you want to see more from me, there's my Twitter link in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch where I go live with some live streams. Additionally, there's a coffee link in the description where you can donate a minimum of $3 to directly support what I do. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.